Hey everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to install intelliJ IDEA on a Windows, macOS, or Linux computer. Now please note, these will not work on Chromebooks. In order to do it on Chromebooks, you'll need to go through the Linux mode. I may make a video about that in the future, but as of today, I don't have access to a Chromebook, so it's not particularly easy for me to demonstrate that. So right now I am at the JetBrains website, and you can see right here it's saying intelliJ IDEA Ultimate. Now please note the Ultimate Edition is a paid software. This is just a free 30-day trial. So if you don't want to purchase the software, I recommend installing the Community Edition instead. So there's a version for Windows, macOS, and Linux. So you can see right here, if you're on Windows, you can choose the ARM version or the EXE version. I'm hoping that it should automatically have the version based on what you're on. You will probably want, I did not mean to click that, the EXE version. Windows ARM devices aren't very common. On macOS though, the case is a little bit different. Um, Hopefully it automatically selects it for you, like I said, but if it doesn't, you want to check. Um, it probably just won't work at all, to be honest, if you happen to click the wrong one. But so you're gonna go to the top left corner. It should say something like about. You might want to do it. Maybe I think it's on the Apple icon. Yeah, I think you click on an Apple icon, and then there's something about like about this Mac. Maybe it's in system preferences. I don't have a Mac like I said, so I couldn't tell you exactly. But inside of something that's like about this Mac, there's some menu which shows your CPU, and it'll tell you whether you have Intel or Apple Silicon. Feel free to also look it up. Like, how do I know if I'm on Intel or Apple Silicon? And you can just be sure to know whether you're on Intel or Apple Silicon. That's of course only if you're on Mac. And then lastly, if you're on Linux, I don't recommend using these. Instead, I recommend installing it through the Flatpak. And yeah, so there's also, I believe, a snap, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't particularly want to check. So after you've installed whichever one you want, you're going to open up the installer. If you're on macOS, it's probably a DMG file, and you're going to have to do the drag and drop thing. If you're on Windows and you're going to go through the installer, go through it, but you're going to see there's some options and things like that. If you want to install on another drive, you know how to do that, or you could probably just leave it as default. But I wanted to go over this right here. So first, you can add open folder as project into your context menu. And what this is going to do is basically, let's say I'm in a project, I'm going to open up Java, and it's going to add an option just like how these have, but it's going to say open folder as IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition project. And so that's going to make it so you can just open up a folder in the IDE right away, and that can be helpful if you're working on things. I believe you can go back and change this later if you ever want to add that option again. And then this one right here, I do recommend adding add bin folder to path. This is going to make it so you can open the application from the terminal. Probably not that one though, but and then you can also add a desktop shortcut. I'm not a fan of desktop shortcuts, but you can do it if you want. And then you don't really have to bother with the file associations because you're going to want to open an entire folder, not just these one files. So you can just leave them all off. I recommend not having them. So that's what you can do, and I'm clicking cancel because I don't want this to install, but you're going to go next and do whatever you need to install the program. So hopefully that goes well for you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you get your softwares installed, and happy coding.